Both players at 9 and 2. Corey Burkhart up top. Timothy Van D down below. 9 and 2 record, still looking pretty good, but to guarantee, there's that broken finger.
Yep. We weren't making that story up.
Yeah. And looks like he's a little more comfortable with it now. It used to be a little more brutal, but whoa, look at these fireworks. There.
And everything we just said is, contingent on the fact that, breach is still breach.
Breach is still indeed breach. And no land. Imagine if Timothy Van D won the die roll and had a chalice on 0. Corey would just head on out.
Yep.
Would just head on out. So, yeah, it looks like Timothy Van D just drew 4 cards. Believe it or not, I'm going to imagine that we have a Devour that was revealed before we got into this. We promise. He's not cheating. Well, we can't promise that, but
it would be ambitious.
It would be really ambitious.
I would honestly respect it.
Yeah.
Just unmitigated gall. Yeah, sure, I'll grab some cards, start looking at them,
4 cards, yep. Paper plays. Looks like does not pick any of those. Draws a card. And we'll see what we got going on here. Even Chalice on 0 still looks good because this bobble loop, still looks awesome.
Yeah.
Emery getting a lot of cards. Uh-oh.
All right, there it is.
Sadness is on the stack. Now what do you do? Now here's the pinch. Do you bobble over and over and over to try to hit land drops, or do you not bobble so your opals are online?
Yeah, it's tough. You're stone raining yourself to try and find a land.
Yeah,
which
yes.
Which is a little weird. And then turning off Emery, obviously Chalice, like you're saying, turn off the combo and so on and so forth. But turning off Emery is huge. Emery is now just a 1/2. You can try and cast him up in the graveyard. Obviously, comes back, gets countered. That's not really very good. There are things it can cast, but the main function of Emery, of course, is casting Bobble and casting Moxen.
Yep, absolutely. Corey there. Ancestral Recalling with the draw step. Chalice check. Got him.
Love it. I think the Chalice check the turn after a Chalice has been played is pretty ambitious.
Yes. But hey, why not? It's a trigger. You got to remember it.
Now, the opportunity cost there was attacking for 1, but, that's not super likely. So.
All right, Tamiyo comes down. That one's not getting chaliced.
It's funny because the Chalice here kind of feels like Stony Silence, where it's like turning off the 0 amount of artifacts, but Tamiyo's still good to go.
Tamiyo's still good to go, and the opals that are already in play can do something as well. It that heralds the end comes down, making other colorless creatures you control a little bit bigger. And gigantic spells with mana value 7 or greater cost 1 less. Not as relevant. It makes Devourer cheaper, and I guess Kozilek's Command as well. But outside of that, no Emrakul shenanigans.
Yeah, the Chalice is a huge pickup, but not having a double land here, either Eldrazi Temple or Ugin's Labyrinth, is... We see here Grizzly Bear on turn 2. It's a powerful Grizzly Bear, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's still a Grizzly Bear.
That's a Grizzly Bear like we don't see, 10 years ago. Okay, there are the cards. Now, all of this, fine and good, but you just really cannot combo reliably at all without your 0 drops, so.
Board factor, of course, here is Urge Saga. Haywire Might hanging out. That's what can break his Chalice up here. So pressure on Timothy to get some damage done, find another Chalice, to do something else.
Bobble, Chalice. God. Timothy's seeing all the lines.
See, the thing is here, Chalice checking, of course, is a totally legal play.
Yeah.
I think doing it every turn, if you're going to do it, is not a good idea. You got to balance your range a little bit, take a turn off or 2.
Okay, smart.
Don't make it part of, the natural flow of the game. I'm going to cast the thing, you counter it. Okay, next turn, I'm going to cast the thing, you counter it,
Yeah.
Got to break rapport a little bit.
Okay, smart. Yeah, I see what Corey's doing for sure because, you're not attacking with it. You're not blocking with it. Might as well get that Chalice going. Comes in for 2 damage, and now we do have 4 mana available. Timothy Van D has a Thought Knot, something like that, but looks like this might be straight nothing.
You're also supposed to possibly have a command, maybe look at the Tamiyo.
Yeah.
A few possible options here. Trent Temple certainly unlocking the hand.
All right, there is the command. Now this would be a command for 2. So dealing with the Tamiyo, and then either exiling cards or drawing, I imagine. Scion's available as well. I bet that's a less popular mode. Now, the one thing, Chalice is awesome in this matchup. The one thing it's kind of brutal with is you can never stack them. You can't get 2 on the battlefield.
That is true.
I don't think you're allowed to miss those Chalice triggers. That's probably not allowed. But that always means Haywire Might will be able to get Chalice off the board, you know.
Yeah, Chalice checking yourself would be a very different conversation.
Yes, yes. We do not allow that. So there was the exile of Grinding Station and a Rumble. If you're going to exile 1 card, it's for sure Station. I think you can make a case for Underworld Breach or the Rumble. Draws to Corey's. Draw step. There's that face-up Misty over there. Not in play yet, but probably about to be.
Nice guy, Corey, you know?
Yeah.
I guess that is balancing your range, right?
Yeah.
You leave a card revealed for a hand effect, but also Chalice check.
Yes. Life's all about balance, you know?
Yep.
You break a finger, but you got other working fingers, you know? Corey's all about balance.
For now.
For now, there you go.
Corey Chris comboing too hard might lose another one, you know?
Yeah. Steam vents here. Players look like they're having fun. That's the nice thing here. You know, these moments are big. And you want to, of course, try your best. Both players very much want to win. But at the end of the day, we're playing the best game in the world, and we get to hang out and have fun, chat with our friends. People got to remember that this is an awesome hobby as well as you know, a great game.
It's important for your success, too, to have, you know, kind of a good relaxed attitude as well.
Agreed.
Ooh.
Okay. I do think I saw another Chalice from Timothy, so, you know, there's still the ability to get that Chalice going next turn, but there might not be a next turn, as we do have Opal number 2 in the yard. Still needs 1 more artifact in play to turn on the Opals, but can bring back a Bauble now, and I bet this one's going to work.
Yeah, draws a Scion, looks artifact-y.
Yeah.
But exists just in a state of colorlessness.
Yeah. Flame of Honor has got to be just the best card against this deck.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. 5 damage, killing Chalice.
Yeah. And honestly, the old versions of these Teamer Breach decks, when you were just like, all right, it is stock, play 4 Unholy Heats, that would have been great against this version too, but the more combos coming around, the less exciting Unholy Heat is. You know, the more people are playing one of this card kind of thing, the better a deck like Colorless Eldrazi is. So a nice little metagame call. And we'll see if we start this off with another very, very fun Magic card, Chalice of the Void.
I love the non-full art waste. You have to go out of your way to get that one. It's like it was only in some starter product or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
But I like it, yeah.
Okay.
I have one of those too.
Love it.
How about Chalice with a bonus?
Chalice with the bonus. God, Matter Reshaper really got an upgrade here, huh?
Yeah. Wouldn't be hard to not have one.
Hey, you take that back about Matter Reshaper, okay?
I will not.
Good. That's correct. Matter Reshaper fans in shambles across both of our chats.
What, all 3 of them?
I was going to say 1. I think you were being too generous. All right.
So Fleshraker pings for each colorless creature that enters the battlefield, and then makes a token for each colorless spell cast.
Yep.
So that adds up pretty quickly.
It really does. Popping off. Corey B down to 9. You know, the glaring Fleshrakers, not necessarily the deck that we see them in all the time. You know, I think the go-to glaring Fleshraker deck is kind of the Brood Scale combo, a deck that Combo Master and now Pro Tour champion Matt Nass has been very much pioneering. Didn't see a lot of it here. It ends up being just, all right, there's 2 Urza Saga-style combo decks. Probably play the Breach one, but still a good deck.
So Corey planning out the next turn, thinking about, you know, we got Haywire Might possibility, which is pretty good here against that Chalice. And a lot else going on, too. I mean, really well set up, mana base well developed, Emery in play.
I think I saw Opal and a land, so not exciting so far. And if this is a construct, that's a tall tale sign that this is not exciting. Now, looks like we are making a construct. I would be very shocked if we're not searching up a 1-mana insect.
Yep. The Mighty Might.
So mighty. Much might.
Yeah, interesting here. I mean, the construct is good defensively, but
Yeah.
if Corey ships the turn here, Fleshraker can do some pretty serious stuff. With 2 copies in play, that damage adds up fast.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of flesh to be raked here from Timothy's side. Yeah, what a powerful card.
And it doesn't force any colorless spell, not just the Eldrazi as well.
Yep. And then whenever a colorless creature comes into play, so normally it's 2 damage basically every spell you have.
Yep.
Except Chalice. You know, that's only 1. It'll get countered.
Sure.
Guess you could Chalice on 1.
Of course, a bit of a twin combo here, too, with Kozilek's command to make a whole bunch of Scions.
Oh, yeah.
So
Then game over.
interesting. So interesting to see the Chalice going away. That signifies to me that Corey wants to
Win the game.
get it done here. But
Can also just bring back Haywire Might. Can also bring it back immediately now.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good little loop set up.
An option for sure.
Because making the construct streams not getting it done here.
Yeah. Opal number 2 with 1 floating. No. Yeah, 1 probably floating. Now probably 2 floating. And honestly, here, even if there's Breach and no Grinding Station because that got exiled, I am pretty okay with going, Opal, Heat of Fleshraker. Opal, Heat of Fleshraker, go. You know, like, yeah, sure, you lose out, but Breach can do a lot more than just win the game.
It is so funny that the card can just be an insane value card, too.
Yeah. Value breaches are quite fun.
All right. I'm still a little perplexed by this construct being made.
Yep, same.
You know, not an artifact needed for the Moxen. There's the Clue and the Bauble already in play. Maybe just showing off.
Maybe. I'm a big fan of showing off.
Yeah, for sure.
Emery flipping over some cards. All right, if Grinding Station was needed, we're good to go here. If that last red mana, if we got a Breach in hand, this is game. Nothing that can really happen.
This is looking pretty good.
Opal, 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 Opal. Got that spawn as well to get rid of some extra mana as well. And, oh, a grave shot.
Okay.
Okay.
So it was a sort of combo.
Yeah.
Not the full combo, but.
Oh, man. I mean, if I would have submitted Breach, the win con I would have had in the main was just Grave Shot. After seeing all the lists, I think I would have went for the Grave Shot and Jace, but I for sure would have not had an Oracle in that spot. Just imagine, okay, Oracle, scry,
yep. Dead, yep.
Die. You know, like, and there is so many scenarios like this where Grave Shot's amazing. Put it up against the black-white blink deck, get rid of a Dothy and a Flicker Wisp or something on a small turn. I'm all about it. Big Grave Shot fan here. Big Corey B fan as well.
I think Corey was just watching Dingo play and just got a little jealous.
I think so.
You know?
Yeah.
I could do Storm stuff too.
I mean, we all just want to be young Dingo here, so, you know, I'm here for it. And now the Devourer takes down Emery. Corey did have the real cost of playing redundant Emery here, but looks like sack a Clue right away, so maybe out of things to do. But on the flip side, Timothy's out of stuff to do too.
Yeah, you know, the Devourer is it's good. It killed the
Yeah.
thing. It's kind of big, but it ain't that big. No trample.
No, not a big deal. And with Corey had 8 life, I don't even know what the best draw here is.
All right, well, the construct plan comes to fruition.
Chump blocker.
Or Scion, that works too.
Lives to fight another day.
Having a blocker for next turn is great too. So Corey planned that turn out perfectly.
Yeah,
you know,
now Corey has a nice play of Bobble. Don't like it. Sack it. Go get a Surveil land. Corey's doing a double check just to make sure there's still fetchable lands left in the deck. That can happen if you flip a bunch of Emerys over. Surveil land, pretty good.
there's still work to do, but definitely time to do it.
Yep. But now you get to look at a card. You get to draw off Bobble. You get to draw for your turn. I mean, just really nice stuff. If you just go draw 2 lands, you're pretty unlucky. That is quite unlucky. And if you draw Breach, you win the game.
Does Corey look unlucky to you, or does he look lucky?
I mean, he's got a broken finger, so not the luckiest.
That is fair.
Grinding Station is the wrong half of the combo to draw.
I mean, he did say he got stuck on a car door, so there's a bit of a skill issue there, I think.
Okay, fair. Wow. Way to kick him when I'm down, man. You're just really, harsh to these Corey B's here.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so Devour can get in there. Can block, do some grinding.
Take a look.
Those were good cards to draw. Preordained Rumble, next best thing to the very fair and reasonable one colorless red enchantment. Cavern on, I'm going to just guess and say Eldrazi.
You do some fun stuff on Arena. You can kind of use it as an emote.
Yeah.
You can name like a weird or coward.
Okay.
So you like in your little bubble pops up says coward.
Ah.
Weird.
Yes, yes.
I like that.
Wow, absolutely. Jim BMs his opponents, confirmed.
Yep.
All right. Myco Spawn be able to deal with a land and get a land. Do we have a Bajuka Bog? No Bajuka Bog. Wow, not even in the 75. That surprises me. If you're playing 4 Myco Spawns and breaches a deck, I'm cutting. I mean, there's a Gemstone Cavern. Get it out of there. Make it a Bajuka Bog.
Yeah, having the access to that is just excellent with and the Myco Spawn. Honestly, this is a deck too where like I think you're more likely to cast Myco Spawn on 4 than 6 in this deck. We're not ramping that hard. Yeah. And just having it be this like pseudo hate piece is pretty cool.
Yep. But of course, the mana base on this, drawing a Bajuka Bog naturally in Timothy's deck would suck. That would not be great. This needs to be a draw step here. Was that a Shifting Woodlands?
Oh, boy.
I'm going to take a guess, say we're Delirious. Boom.
Got Breach in there, too?
Oh.
There's so many cards.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Now we got Play a Bauble. To be fair, if there is a command, Timothy can just exile that target in response. But now, blue mana, mill yourself, combo. Corey's explaining the kill.
I love the shrug. That was a real round 12 shrug.
Yes.
I was like, listen, we've been here before.
Yes.
If it's round 1, sure, let's explain it, whatever. But like, this is round 12.
Yeah.
All right, we're 9-2. We know what's going on here.
Big draw step there from Corey B. Does have just the one Shifting Woodland, so you got to think, wow, that was really lucky. But also had all the breaches. Rumble gives you redraws. Preordained gives you draws. Like, Corey had a lot of live draws there. Now let's look at Timothy Van D's sideboard. What are you bringing in here, Jim?
All right, let's take a look what we got here. Surgical Extraction is pretty cute as well. Trinisphere is kind of an old school one. That's pretty interesting. Playing a similar sort of Chalice effect of with Trinisphere in play, casting zeros is pretty difficult. Locking everything at 3 mana no matter what. Doesn't care about Emery Affinity or whatever else. So Trinisphere is pretty nice. A little bit of Graveyard Hate also. And then Surgical seems pretty solid too as well.
Yeah.
If wants to fight the creature fight, Dismember could come in. The creatures are reasonably important in the post-board games, but that's a lot of cards to bring in. So want to keep the pressure. Don't want to over-sideboard. A common thing that happens against these breach decks.
Yeah, just a classic thing, though. You could just basically make a case for, like, every card.
Yep.
Maybe all is dust.
Yep.
I'm like, meh, about. But everything else, sure, get it in there. Why not? Maybe not World Breaker as well. And then from Corey B, anything you want to really change?
Flame of Anor.
Oh, baby.
You shall not pass.
Yes.
All right. Waste to kill Chalice. Very, very important. He coming as well, dealing these creatures is pretty, you can stand back a little bit. The idea that we're probably going to see a Chalice. You might end up in a spot like that game where you're in the waiting room of trying to find a way to deal with the Chalice.
Yeah.
To have a kill spell or two, make sure you keep yourself alive. It's pretty important. Besage looks great also.
I wonder if you even bring in Consign. Like, it feels wrong to not against a colorless deck, but man, when you run into, it's like bringing in counter spells against a Vial deck. Like, sure, if they don't have the Vial, if they don't have the Cavern, it's awesome.
Yep.
But if they do, like, it's pointless cardboard most of the time.
It's also this spot where, like, this is not a ramp deck. This is a stompy deck.
Yeah.
I guess the ramp deck, they ramp, play big thing, counter.
Yes.
This is just going to play thing.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to counter on turn 4, I mean, now you're already behind on the board.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually a very interesting question. If you bring in, and then how many do you bring in? I say the full 4 doesn't sound right to me.
It doesn't sound right, yeah.
Some mixture maybe, but definitely a fun little puzzle. And this is kind of the lore of playing a more rogue deck,
Yeah.
I'm sure Corey's played dozens of matches and games against the traditional Eldrazi ramp decks.
Yeah.
This version's different, and you need to, on the spot, figure out what you want to do, and it might not be right.
Totally agree. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning on like 2 or something, but yeah, who really knows there? But if you want to pick up this Eldrazi deck and you want to get rid of your other Eldrazi deck, Jim, what are we going to do? Where are we going to get rid of these cards?
Sellyourcards.starcitygames.com. Hop on. They make it super easy for you. And the option I love, 30% pushback on your store credit. So
Yes.
you can take cash if you need it. Cash is king, obviously. But you're probably going to buy more Magic cards. So that's the option I almost always use. I know I'm buying more cards, so I get 30% more value, which is great there. And that credit can be used online. It can be used at events. Walk up and say, hey, put it on my tab, which is great. So check it out, sellyourcards.starcitygames.com.
Now, you do have to have a tab and some store credit. You can't just do that. You can't just walk up to the booth, say, what's up, Jared? Hey, sign me up for this event, put it on my tab. I don't think we have a credit system like that here at Star City Games. So.
That is true, I guess.
Yeah.
It is more of a theoretical tab.
Now, you got to go up and be like,
metaphorical.
it doesn't matter who you are, where you're at, what city. Come down to a Star City Games event, say, put it on Jim Davis's tab. That's what you want to do.
I'd respect that, honestly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, you owe $4,000. Well, you know, sure.
Thank God.
Let's just get some Magic cards
thank
away
God
today.
you sold some Shukkos, you know.
Yeah, right.
Afford it.
That's about half my Shuko balance. So.
All right, so we are at the regional championship here in Charlotte, but believe it or not, we got a lot more regional championships coming. So let's take a look at the next one we're going to be seeing. It's all the way in May, so we do have a little bit of time to kill here when it comes to this. But Jim, RC Championship, Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, and it's standard.
Yeah, we're playing standard. Twin Cities are great. Mall of America's there also. I was there for U.S. Nationals about 14,000 years ago.
Yes.
But great city. Playing some standard. And that's kind of the cool thing about the regional championships and tournaments in general is that, like, there's always another one. Oh,
yes.
You know, you lost the finals of your RCQ at a heartbreaker and didn't qualify for this one. Well, there's still more.
Yep.
There's still more RCQs to play in and more events to play in, which is great. So May 2nd through the 4th, check it out, starcitygames.com/SCGCon for more information.
Yeah, absolutely. Get in those LCQs and stuff as well. Like, there's a lot of people on the top of the standings here. You know, Jesse Robkins being the one I'm thinking of immediately. I believe she was 10-1, LCQ'd in. So 15-1 so far with this this cool brew she has going on. It's called Teamer Breach.
Yeah, pretty innovative deck list.
Yeah.
From one of the actual innovators.
Exactly. No jokes there. But yeah, Minneapolis, a great place. Probably the city I've been to the most because, well, I lived in Fargo for most of my life. Fargo, North Dakota, believe it or not, it's a location, not just a TV show. And anytime you wanted to go do anything fun, believe it or not, we had to go somewhere most of the time.
Really?
So I had to make that drive to Minneapolis to go check out some concerts or anything kind of fun there. Play a lot of PTQs back in the day. There was no RCQs. Yeah.
Hopefully no Fargo, travel agents are watching right now. Like,
Yes.
Oh God. The travel authorities are going to call you up and be like, stop bad-mouthing our city.
Yeah, all two of them are in shambles. Timothy Van D on the play here. And I believe I did see the Grafdigger's Cage and a Chalice. So if you have a functioning hand outside of that, you got a lot going on here and a lot of tough pieces of hate to get through.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Timothy here is Eldrazi Temple, Ugin's Labyrinth. We got to get ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
The point of this deck being a powerful stompy deck is that it can be aggressive quickly. If you're just tapping wastes and forests for these Eldrazi threats, they're not ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
They're just fine.
Yep, 100%. Looks like Corey didn't go for any chalice checks when they weren't free. See a bobble in hand. The restraint on this Corey B, let me tell you. Now that would be, really, really impressive. If he goes for it here.
I was just going to say that there's a contingent of, the community where chalice checking is not okay or is okay.
Yeah.
It is perfectly legal in the rules. It is totally legal play to do.
Yeah.
And I was holding myself back. I would give Corey a high five. If he resolved a Mox on turn 1 through a chalice with no backup plan of ever or whatever, I'm sorry, that's a high five for me.
Wow, you're just going to hurt his finger? Come on. That sounds like a punishment here for Corey.
On the good hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You need to specify,
yes.
all right? We do see Mox and Bobble there, so there were two ways. Now, one other spicy thing, there's a consign, so you can force through some 0 drops.
That's funny because usually you think of chalice being on 1. When usually we see chalice, in Modern or in Legacy, it's on 1, stops all the cantrips and stuff. And the joke there is stifle. I'll stifle the chalice trigger, but it also gets countered. So this is a spot where you actually can stifle a chalice trigger, which is pretty cool.
Well, you can replicate it even if it's on 1 and actually do it.
That's right, actually. That's great.
This isn't your granddad stifle, okay? This is 2025 stifles.
Shattering Spree style.
There we go.
Yeah, chalice on the play, of course, also very different than the draw. Similar to Vintage, right?
Yeah.
Where, you could play all your Moxen, they play a chalice, whatever. If you play chalice before they play their Moxen, that's a big deal.
Yep. Here is the Rumble. Not going to be able to get that consign. Well, we at least know Corey brought in 2 consigns here as well, and now we can either get another land. I at least see a Steam Vent, and I think a Shifting Woodlands in hand already. So feels like a Windmill Slam Emery, but Cage does shut down Emery, so maybe it's not that exciting. Goes for the Misty anyways, and passes it back.
This is what our top Breach players have been dealing with all weekend.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta fight through hate. You know,
yeah.
Your deck is not going to function the way you intended for a lot of your game 2 and 3s. How do you navigate that?
But that's also what we've been dealing with the Breach players. Look at Corey's face. Doesn't necessarily look super worried about these 2 hate cards.
Looks like he's just ordering lunch.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know? Oh, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Whatever.
So this was the end step. Kozilek's command, pretty spicy. You can hit the Scion for free and draw a card. So for just the 2 mana, actually gets 2 modes. It's almost always just a cycle for that, but Scion does something, but no land, no pressure.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, obviously I wanted a double land. I guess any land would suffice here.
Yeah. How about a no land? And, I mean, I get it. Keep the hand based on 2 very disruptive cards. Maybe you have a command to do something as well, but, you know, this is not how you beat Breach. You can have all the disruption in the world. You need some pressure.
We've seen it all weekend. You know,
Yeah.
This is a recipe for disaster. It's just like you can't just sit here. I mean, Chalice looks nice. Cage, they look nice. It feels sort of safe, but this is a real house of cards, as it were.
Absolutely. Corey still not doing anything too exciting here. Just sack a land, get a stomping ground. Doesn't have Flame of an Ore or anything like that to be able to blow something up. You would think you'd kind of snap that off, but you never know. Maybe you're not really pressured yet. Steam Vent's tapped. Pass.
No rush. Timothy, we got to get this game, bud.
Come on, Timothy. Get a land. Give us a fair fight here.
Oh, no.
A pass. Sadness on the stack.
Yeah, this is a common thing, too. I think when players are playing more at their local level, you know, less experienced Breach players, less experienced players in general, fold to a Sideboard hate card. You know, they're not sure what to do. I'm trying to play around it. So players think, you know, oh, well, at my local events, you know, I played a Chalice or my opponent just conceded, you know. The best players in this tournament, who are best players in the room, they're ready for this. This is not, you know, this is not something new. You know, we can figure this one out. So Corey navigating through, and then Timothy.
100%, and the fact that at, you know, maybe the locals close deckless tournaments. So sometimes a Breach or sometimes a Cage or a Chalice will get you. You know, that can actually happen. But open deckless tournament just favors Breach so much more as you get to know what you need to play around. Here is Breach. Rumble on the stack. Let's see what we can find. There's an Opal. That's got to be a big sign. We know there's the Bauble. We know there's the Mox Amber in hand. There's still that Chalice, though, so doesn't have the ability to get that. But Haywire might be able to deal with the Chalice slowly but surely.
Haywire might be the answer.
Haywire might be the answer. Absolutely. Gets the land. Now, if anything, you get the land, and then you can bring back Haywire Might here.
Breach is a hell of a card.
It really is. It really, really is.
Like, this is just a setup turn, right? I mean.
Yeah, maybe. Setup turns can all of a sudden turn into the win when you do some good stuff. All right, what are we bringing back now? Haywire Might comes to play. Risky.
Yeah, so no green mana available just yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Command right now. Maybe this is end step, and then, you know, this will do something. If it is, you know, during this whole combo step, you can still use that mana, but probably to no avail. So the value Breach goes away. And you know what that was? That was a 4-mana Rumble that got a little extra value. 4 mana, get 2 cards out of it. still a 2-mana divination, essentially. And there is, is this the way to exile it?
I believe so, yeah. So,
oh, that's huge.
So casting the command end step was risky, right? Because you need to find a land, but that was also an answer to Haywire Might if you do draw a land. But had the Battle Mage also. So set up for the land draw, Battle Mage takes out the Might, and now the Might's gone. It is exiled.
No, I thought that was a very risky play on Corey's part to play the Haywire Might. But the thing is, you're not going to be able to cast it from the graveyard without a breach anyways, but everyone knows, Open Decklist Tournament, that there was one breach, or there's one Might. So if you can deal with that, keep it in exile, it's going to be really effective.
Yeah, it's unique in this deck where, Graveyard ain't safe. It's a one-of, but they might cast it 5 times into the graveyard. But once it's exiled, now it is safe.
All right, so one thing we're seeing Corey point. Corey likes to do this a lot when he just figures everything out, so he's got the win. He nods. I think he has it. Flame of Anor gets flashed back for a 3-mana Shatter on the Chalice. No real other graveyard cards to, keep this going, but I know we have Mox Amber in hand. I know we have Bauble in hand. Maybe we have another Opal. Here goes 3 cards. 3-mana Shatter.
It's time to dance.
We might be dancing. Let's see. Is there Surgical? Is there anything that can be cast with Timothy for free? You don't want to respond to this with Surgical. Wouldn't recommend, as that would get Chalice checked, but you can do something after it gets blown up.
Surgical works. So is mana value 1, right?
Oh, does it work like that?
It does work.
Oh, okay.
If a Chalice was on 1 like it would usually be.
Yeah.
But this is the Chalice on 0.
Good point. Yeah, I just think this gets cast for 0.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, that does work. So you can respond now. And honestly, okay, with that being said, if you do Chalice or you do Surgical right now on an Opal, I don't think it's the easiest to make mana right now. It's not impossible. You can go land, Emery, Mox, Opal.
Well, it's sort of like, what else would Timothy be thinking about? That's the only possible interaction point,
Or bluff.
Sure.
Okay, so there is the 3 artifacts. Now, this is still not enough. This is not a win yet for Corey B. There's got to be more stuff.
So, of course, each spell is being cast individually. If Timothy wants to respond to one of them, I guess with his possible Surgical. But I would think the time of Surgical would have been on the Mox Opal.
Yeah. Maybe had the same thought, it would get chaliced. There is the Tameo. Now the Mox Ambers are online. Now, this could also just still be a value breach.
I feel like Corey just turned the Christmas tree on. Just turn on all the lights one at a time. I got this one, and this one, and this one, and this one.
So now this is an Emery from the yard, if anything. It's kind of free when you go to this point. You get extra cards in the yard.
The cost here is exiling second Opal. So there is a cost associated with that.
It is definitely a cost. But here is an Emery. And if you hit another Bauble, why not? Do another, get another free spell here. Doesn't hit anything, quote unquote. So this could be the end of this turn. But once again, second value breach here just still looked amazing. Got rid of the hate card. Allowed you to play a bunch of 0 mana artifacts. And this is value breach number 2. And Corey got to pull ahead.
And Timothy has
had the Surgical, though.
Wow.
But honestly, good patience here, because now with the breach being gone, there's no more comboing.
Yeah, so Timothy there recognizing that, I'm not going to die, and I can get this breach.
Yeah, but the thing is, Timothy could have died,
Sure. Sure, it was possible, I guess, but unlikely to die then.
Yeah.
And I think that's a gamble that is a very good one to take when you have a 2-2 in play and 3 lands.
Yeah.
Where you're not winning this game anytime soon, so let's go for the Hail Mary.
Yep, absolutely. So there goes the breaches. Looks like they are all gone. Now, this being said, Corey can still win the game. It's not like you can't do it. You could naturally deck yourself and just play an Oracle. And that sounds kind of hard to do, but when you get a grinding station, you can really piece some stuff together pretty quickly. And, of course, construct plans as a thing to do. But the game just got a lot harder from Corey.
For sure. Definitely playing in hard mode.
Yeah. Drew a card off Bauble.
All right. Timothy finally finding some lands here. They are not double lands, but Timothy can start getting things going here. Corey's not going to win out of nowhere anymore.
Yeah.
It's going to be a process.
And you got to think Timothy has nothing but spells in hand, as we've missed a lot of land drops. And there is uncounterable Thought Knot Seer. You either get a Consign, which looks quite bad against these caverns.
That's a lot of cavern
Or
assaults.
you get the Lightning Bolt. And all right, now Corey really wants to like draw a bobble. Get some card advantage going with the Emery. You still got the card advantage going with the Tamiyo. So that's still pretty nice. And of course, another way to win this game, Ultimate Tamiyo.
Yep.
That'll help you out quite a bit.
Definitely not going to draw a million cards in combo finish, but you find some other way to win.
I mean, honestly, if you Ultimate Tamiyo here, I would imagine Corey still wins that turn, as like maybe you find 2 grinding stations, a bunch of opals,
Sure.
find your Oracle, and mill yourself out, cast the Oracle the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm. Clue it up. And Tamiyo Emery's so good.
Yeah, so good.
Just never stops, you know.
I love it. I love it. Those are like my favorite type of creatures. I just love doing that value stuff. And bobble off the top.
As I said, it never stops.
Wow. Corey is just drawing 3 cards a turn now, and it is up to Timothy to answer both of them.
Yeah, and at 15 life, a 4/4 and a 2/2 in play, it's not bad, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot either.
There's no close the door Eldrazi. Like, back in my day, we reality smashed and we liked it.
So many reality smashers up the top of the library.
Yes. All right, there was a command in hand. But the command is the one card that gets countered by Consign, so that is not so great.
Yeah, it is a Eldrazi card, technically, Kindred, but Cavern of Souls has specifies creatures only.
Yep. Not the most intuitive thing, but oh my.
Oh my God.
Flame of Anor from the top ropes.
That's a 3rd copy, right?
Oh man, I think it totally is.
Yeah, you shall not pass.
Okay, so the spicy thing here is you can destroy the Thought Knot, draw 2. When the Thought Knot dies, draw another one, flip Tamiyo.
I love the not your turn Tamiyo flips. Those are pretty fun.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that Consign looking really good here. The command could have taken care of Tamiyo. I guess got to think about it maybe anyway, but.
Oh, maybe a Dismember here. That's one thing that's going to be really tough to deal with.
Of course, Timothy's flush with cards.
Yeah.
Timothy missed like 9 land drops. So all spells, all gas.
But all that being said, Corey's going to have so many more cards than Timothy after all this exchange. Corey's just drawing 3 cards a turn. His Doomblades also draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Everything coming up Corey B here.
And the mana advantage is important too, because being able to utilize all those cards in a timely fashion.
Yeah, and another good way to deck yourself to get to Oracle, draw cards.
Just do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. And looks like a pass the turn. Timothy not putting any more pressure, just has the Grizzly Bear. And Corey has 7 cards.
That's a lot of cards.
There's the Saga to be able to present a clock.
This is kind of like what I was saying earlier about the Eldrazi deck really needs to have the double lens.
Yes.
So you're not just like playing dopey creatures.
Yeah.
When you're up on mana, that helps, and when you're up on cards, that helps. So Corey's deck isn't really designed to be like a mid-range deck. If you're just +7 cards, you just figure it out.
Yep, 100%. And them double checking like that doesn't get under Cavern, right? No, it does not. And there's Consign's best case here. Timothy kind of just fired out the command. Get it out of the hand at least. There is a Tamiyo. Already flipped, so it looks like Corey was having a good time with that Tamiyo last round.
It's a well-experienced Tamiyo.
Yeah. And now these constructs are going to be bigger than any creature Timothy can produce, besides Devourer maybe.
Yep.
And there is a Devourer in hand, so maybe something to do here. But yeah, you're right. Just these 4 lands only adding 4 mana, not great.
Yeah. It's almost like a draft deck,
Yeah.
Like Fleshmaker is a good draft card at 3 mana.
Yeah.
But, in Modern, it's got to cost 1 or 2.
100%. Fleshraker comes down, and it goes down. Unholy Heat, Bobble.
Just a plethora of resources.
Now we get to go to Corey's turn. draw card number 1. Card number 2, Tamiyo can attack, draw card number 3, flip, if he wants. There's plenty of games, though, where you're like, make a clue, I'll sack that later. I want to keep generating clues and grow this construct. But, I mean, just look at this. It's poetry in motion.
No bias on Corey at all.
Yeah.
The Corey B bias, the breach bias.
Yeah, sorry, did I say that out loud? That was an inner thought. I'm just beautifully looking at this breach deck, and
Loud and clear, partner.
you know, looks good to me. I think this deck has a future.
I don't think it does, actually.
Hey, easy.
Yep.
There was the sack of the clue. Ticks up. Now, if anything, this BattleMet can attack it down for 1. It'll still get to an ultimate eventually. But all that being said, constructs, you're going to be starting to generate 4/4s.
This is what you were saying. Just Tamiyo control. Make some
Yep.
4/4s. Snapcaster back some rule spells.
Yep.
Just just keep playing.
It's demoralizing.
Yep.
And here comes an attack. We're going to see this construct in response. And I think this was an oops from Timothy. We might have the, all right, I can't win anyways. Good game.
Yeah. Gets to a point where you're just like, I'll just attack, I guess.
Yeah. Looks like that was a bit of an oops, but
At the 4th Cavern of Souls, too.
looks like it.
Yeah, see, this is the point in the arena game where you got to play Cavern of Souls. You have to uncheck show all types.
Yeah.
You go find weird. You go, weird.
Yeah.
I think it's it.
Hashtag Jim Hand of the Week for sure. Draw 2 cards. Saga 3, trigger on the stack. Make another 6/6. Why not? Go get one of your fancy artifacts that does something. Spellbomb if you still got it in. Lantern.
Do we have
Another bauble.
We have one of those coloring books around? You know?
Yeah. We need one. There's a bauble, and we saw the Oracle was still in the deck. That's a small library here. You know, no breach, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, constructs to win the game.
Yeah.
Attack yourself. Ultimate Planeswalker. Choose your own destiny.
Absolutely.
I suppose there's Timothy draws an Eldrazi Temple, is able to start playing 7-drops. That's the thing that Corey needs to be aware of.
Yeah.
There's definitely the tools to get to work around that, but Corey's having a great time too.
Corey's having a grand
just look at
time.
it.
Wait, were you talking about me or that card? Because I think the answer is both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Corey's just got great taste in deck. He's having a blast. Really, really in his element here.
Yep.
And of course, Corey Burkhart, an amazing player. Someone we've seen around the Pro Tours for a long time. No stranger to RC top 8s, going deep in these events. And that is it. The much more handsome Corey B takes it down here and advances to 10-2